that are struggling and whatever. And then
so you feel sympathy for this family that you don't know at all.
Yeah, we're introduced to them. The little girl has like a can of bug spray because she sees the monster outside the window, and later on in the film, Flash saves them, and Superman saves the
entire
apartment building.
And the joke is how pathetic Flash is.
Yeah, even though Flash saves the day in the Snyder cut, without him, everyone would die.
Yes. Let's talk about the theatrical cut.
Right.
We're still talking about the theatrical cut.
Hour 2 minutes, the Justice League hangs out in the Batcave. They talk about the Mother Box, kind of exposition. This is 1 hour. Bruce, 1 hour 6 minutes, Bruce discusses with Alfred why Superman being back is important. I think these are newly shot scenes. Because it's a different location. It's like that room with the suits of armor on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like lounge chairs.
Oh, yeah. You can tell that's a reshot scene because Ben Affleck's looking a little bloated.
Yeah, and they talk about the sonic device. Like,
yeah.
He keeps playing around with this like sound wave thing that affects the bug monsters. That is completely not in the Snyder cut.
Well, in theatrical, they also added in this whole thing with Batman and Wonder Woman and tension in the team.
Yes, he's making fun of her. He calls her an idiot for loving Steve Rogers.
Which is right.
Yeah. And then that's his he's like poking her. He's like, yeah, you've been doing nothing for 100 years, crying over your boyfriend hiding, when you should be out there being a hero.
Like she was in the beginning of the movie.
Needed that scene. It could cut that.
Yeah, it's so weird for all the stuff that you're trying to cut out of a movie to make it shorter, and Joss Whedon just keeps adding in new stuff, which doesn't make it. I mean, they still got it down to 2 hours, but it's like, does this new stuff add anything beneficial to the movie?
No.
They try to excuse Superman coming back temporarily evil for no reason by having the character speculate that it might happen, even though they would have no reason to believe that might happen.
Yeah, it's true.
In the Zack Snyder cut, it just happens, and it's nonsensical there.
Well, it's like he doesn't remember who he is. He's disoriented.
It just felt like an excuse to have a fight.
It is. That's the most excessive scene in either cut of the movie.
That was my favorite part.
Arthur, where's your strength?
But story-wise, it's the least important thing to happen.
Story-wise, bringing Superman back is the least important thing to happen. The focus should be we gotta stop the Steppenwolf, and both versions, it takes a sidetrack that we've gotta resurrect Superman. Now that's the most important thing. Like, well,
I think it's pretty well balanced in the Snyder cut.
It's balanced in the Snyder cut. I agree with Jay. And because here's I have the two versions in my head, right? The Snyder cut, when Superman comes back, it's a heroic entrance. The Steppenwolf is about to hit Cyborg with his axe, and Superman blocks it, and then he beats up Steppenwolf. In the theatrical version, it's like, oh God, Superman's here now.
Nobody else has anything to do.
Nobody else has anything to do, and he could just kill Steppenwolf instantly. But they're like, oh my God, there's poor Russian people that need our help. Superman and Flash, go help them, so that Steppenwolf can continue fighting us. That's literally what happens. In the Snyder cut, they have the whole thing where the Mother Box takes over and Cyborg is unable to stop it. The portal opens up, and basically Superman loses. And the Flash is the one who has to save everybody by reversing time. So really, it's not like in the theatrical version, it's Superman shows up and it's like
nobody else.
He's just gonna punch the bad guy to death. Like in this, it's more balanced where they all are a team.
I agree. That's fixed somewhat in the Snyder cut.
Yeah, and it's set up better too because we laughed at the Mother Box scene in Resurrecting Superman.
The Mother Box is ready. You have to charge it the moment it touches the fluid.
In the theatrical version, where it's like, it has to touch the amniotic fluid at the precise moment that you zap it with electricity.
They treat it like this important thing, or it's like, if they don't have the timing right, they just do it again.
Splashes. Okay, throw it back up. Try it again. But in this, the Flash is like a second too late, but he goes so fast that he reverses time for just a second and does it, which is setting up what he does later in the film. So it serves that. And whether or not Superman comes back is disoriented and mad, fine with that. I have notoriously bad taste in movies sometimes. And so when superheroes fight each other and not like nameless monster of the week, I find that more interesting. Like when the Avengers end up like having to fight with one another for some reason, I find it fun.
It's a fun scene in this version, but it's also the least important scene in the film.
Of course.
But then, yeah, at the end of this version, the Snyder Cut, the one who has the least amount to do is Batman. Because he's just a guy. So he's just kind of shooting demons.
Rich. Meanwhile, someone is getting mugged in Gotham.
Although he's useful at one point, but
He saves Flash's life, which is kind of important.
that's
but,
the one thing he can do.
but really, he spends most of that end fight just not a part of things.
Which is fine, because everybody else has these superpowers that are super important to what they're trying to accomplish. And he's just Batman.
Oh my god!
Cut his horn off!
Jesus fucking Christ!
1 hour 20 minutes. This is our start of our third act, which this has a more traditional structure. This is the low point. Heroes aren't getting along.
Don't do that. We just got our ass handed to us. Steppenwolf has got the third box.
Steppenwolf now has all 3 boxes. The Superman resurrection went poorly. There's a heart-to-heart with